All right, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome and thank you for joining the Achieving the Dreams College 2019 Annual Reflection and Report Process webinar. This webinar is being recorded and we will make it available via the ATD website shortly after the conclusion of this event. I am Nikisha Boyer, Associate Director of Network Engagement, and joining me in this presentation are my colleagues, Destiny Mitchell, Network Engagement Program Coordinator, and Cindy Lopez, Director of Tribal College and University Programs. We would like to thank you all for our network colleges, for your continued engagement with Achieving the Dream. We trust that you have had a productive year and that your college is making great strides in providing necessary support and services for your students. Our agenda for today's webinar will cover this year's annual reflection report purpose, how to access reporting materials, what materials are required and how to submit them, provide an overview of the online form, and an update on the 2019 Coach Satisfaction Survey. We will also have time to answer your questions. For those of you who have been with the network for over a few years, may be familiar with ATD's annual reflection report process, which takes place as the academic year comes to a close. Others of you, such as our tribal college and university institutions and the 2017 cohort, are participating in this year's annual reflection for the first time. We welcome you all to take a moment to pause and consider your work over the past year, as well as look ahead to the next academic year as you go through the ATD Annual Reflection Report process. This year, we've modified our questions to gain a better understanding of the state of the network and to allow colleges to conduct a thorough assessment of their student success and equity work during the 2018-2019 academic year. The ATD Annual Reflection Report allows each network college to tell a story of your work over the past year, develop goals to move forward in the upcoming academic year, and inform ATD on how we can better support your institution in reaching those goals. Here is Destiny to walk you through how to access this year's instructions and material.
Thank you, Nikisha. The 2019 Annual Reflection Reporting information can be found via ATD's website at www.achievingthedream.org. Once you access the website, click on the Resources header. Once you click on the Resources header, you're going to select the Knowledge Center tab. Within the Knowledge Center is the College 2019 Annual Reporting and Reflection link. Click on that link to access the reporting instructions and reflection worksheet. The attachment under Resources Files provides you detailed instructions, a list of submission elements, and the reflection worksheet. This worksheet is available for your institutions to help develop and draft your college's annual reflection. Once finalized, your responses can be copied and pasted to the online form via your institution's individualized link. As noted in the College 2019 Annual Reflection Report Process Instructions, under Submission, the college form has a few differences in the questions format design. However, the questions are the same. I will return shortly in the presentation to provide you a quick overview of the online form to highlight those differences and give you a few pointers that you may find useful with navigating the online form.
Great, thank you, Destiny. In the past, many of you may recall the Annual Reflection Report process consisted of 3 elements, which included the Coach Satisfaction Survey. The Coach Satisfaction Survey will still be required for most of our colleges, and due to some changes made, it will be distributed at a later day. More information about this year's Coach Satisfaction Survey will be provided towards the end of this presentation, so please stay tuned. This year's Annual Reflection Report has 2 major components. an upload of your institution's current strategic plan, Frontier Set report, or Pathways plan, and the annual reflection report. ATD's review of these very important elements connects us to your work, which highlights innovative strategies, challenges, lessons learned, and identifies areas ATD can better support your efforts. Institutions designated to participate in this year's annual reflection report process will receive individualized links to access the online form in the next 2 weeks. The link will be sent to college presidents, core team leads, data team leads, and if applicable, leader college liaisons. If your institution has not received your individualized link by the end of this month, please email us at network@achievingthedream.org. This link allows you to submit your annual reflection report materials by uploading your institution's current strategic plan or Frontier or Pathways plan. Colleges may choose to upload an executive summary of either of these plans or reports. You will also type or paste your responses from the worksheet to the online annual reflection report via your institution's individualized link. Here is Cindy to give you an overview of the current strategic plan, and I will return to outline the areas for this year's annual reflection.
Good afternoon. So as Nikisha mentioned, ATD is asking network colleges to submit a copy of their current institutional strategic plan. Collecting your strategic plans during the reflection process connects ATD to your student success and equity framework. Paired with your reflection report, we are able to review your progress and challenges over the past year. It also helps us better understand your student success priorities for the upcoming academic year that position your institution to further strengthen its work and improve student outcomes. ATD institutions that are participants in the Frontier Set or AACC Pathways 1.0 or 2.0 may choose to submit either the most recent Frontier report or Pathways plan or their current college strategic plan. You do not need to submit both. Please submit whichever you feel best provides the vision and path for your work. ATD colleges that are not participants in the Frontier Set or Pathways 1.0 or 2.0 should upload their current institutional strategic plan as previously indicated. Your individualized institutional link connects you to the online 2019 annual reflection report. You will be prompted to upload and submit your most current college strategic plan or the Frontier report or Pathways plan. Colleges may also choose to upload an executive summary of either of these plans or reports rather than the entire document. Thank you in advance for sharing these documents with us.
Great, thank you, Cindy. The second element of this year's reporting is the annual reflection. The annual reflection is designed to facilitate engagement of a representative group of stakeholders to review and discuss your institution's student success and equity work. The worksheet on page 3 of the instructions document has been provided for you to draft your coordinated responses prior to filling out the online form and submitting your annual reflection report materials via your individualized institutional link. As in years past, we ask colleges to provide the names and titles of each college representative who contributes to the annual reflection report. The contributor's information should be listed in the contributors section of the worksheet and online form. Many, if not all, of ATD institutions should have taken the Institutional Capacity Assessment tool, known as the ICAT. The ICAT is designed to help colleges determine their level of capacity in 7 key dimensions: leadership and vision, data and technology, equity, teaching and learning, engagement and communication, strategy and planning, and policies and practices. In this year's annual reflection, ATD would like to know which institutional capacity building areas your colleges used this past year and will use in the coming year to support your student success priority goals. In addition, provide a brief overview of how your institution used the findings to support your strategic planning process or your accreditation efforts, or to advance your overall student success efforts. The next segment of the annual reflection focuses on the student success priority goals your institution set for the 2018-2019 academic year. In addition, ATD asks that you look ahead and develop your student success priority goals for the 2019-2020 academic year. Colleges that joined ATD with the 2017 cohort may use the priority goals established in the action plan they submitted at the end of their first year in ATD's network. This year, ATD wants to obtain a baseline on the type of performance data your network colleges are collecting. In this section, you will indicate which key performance indicators your institution is currently using. To wrap up the 2019 Annual Reflection Report, we seek your feedback on how ATD can assist your institution in reaching those goals. We ask that you take a note that Achieving the Dream is requesting all responses to each question fall within the 150 and 300 word count, where counts are indicated on the worksheet and online form. The worksheet and the online form questions are the same. However, there is a slight difference in the online format design. Destiny will now switch screens to the online form. She will highlight the variances between the worksheet and the online form, as well as provide a few tips to help you complete and submit your annual reflection report successfully.
Okay, so this page, sorry, let me restart the survey. Okay, so this page contains the introduction, the instructions, and the submission elements. You'll notice that this page is the same as the first 2 pages of the worksheet. Here, you will list your contributors. This is also very similar to the worksheet. This is where you will upload your college strategic plan, Frontier Set, or Pathways project reports. You can choose to upload an executive summary of either of these reports if you wish. You will see a difference between this page and the worksheet. On this page, you have multiple choice questions, where on the worksheet, there are blank spaces where the check boxes are. This page is identical to the worksheet. You'll also notice that you can adjust the text box sizes by dragging this corner right here. This page is also different from the worksheet. The worksheet asks you to place an X in the box that rates your level of difficulty. Here, you can click on the bubbles in the Likert scale. We provided a list of specific areas that may or may not have impacted your student success priority goals over this academic year. This page is very similar to the worksheet. You can adjust these boxes as well. There are check boxes on this page in the worksheet, but you'll see right over here a drop-down box for each of the goals. There are also examples here to help you. There are blank spaces instead of bubbles in the worksheet. You'll notice here there are bubbles where you can click. On the worksheet, there are spaces next to each of these options. But when you click on these, I'll just click on this one for an example, you'll have a space to provide a summary of your needs on the next page. Here's the next page where you can insert a maximum of 150 words. And also, this is not in the worksheet. However, we will need a name, an email, and a phone number for a contact if we need to follow up with you. You may review your responses here. Click on the Download PDF button to download a PDF version of your response. Please be sure to scroll all the way down to the survey and press the Submit button at the bottom right corner of this page. Once you've pressed the Submit button, you will see this page, and that's how you know that you've successfully submitted your annual reflection. And so now I'm going to bring it back to Cindy to discuss the Coach Satisfaction Survey.
As mentioned previously, the Coach Satisfaction Survey has been decoupled from this year's annual reflection report process. You will receive a separate email with a link to this survey. Only one survey per institution should be submitted. The survey is due by June 7th. The Coach Satisfaction Form has been redesigned to reflect how colleges are working with coaches. Some colleges continue to have both data and leadership coaches. Some have only a data coach or a leadership coach, and some may have a holistic student support coach. The new Coach Satisfaction Survey gives colleges the ability to respond based on how they are working with coaches. The survey asks the college to identify which types of coaches they are working with, and then directs the college to answer only those survey questions that correspond with their coaching experience. The 2019 Coach Satisfaction Survey and instructions will go out at the end of this week or early next week and will be due on June 7th. Thank you in advance for taking the time to provide this valuable feedback. It informs our coach training program as well as hiring decisions. Like your institution, we are always in the process of continuous improvement. Great.
Let's see, all of the 2019 annual reflection report materials are due by June 21st at 5 p.m. Eastern. Once we have reviewed each of the annual reflection report submissions, ATD will conduct an analysis to distill key themes and produce a thematic letter that will be distributed to the network. So I'd like to thank Destiny and Cindy for assisting with this year's presentation of our annual reflection report process. We will now open up the lines for questions. So if you could submit your question via the question pane in the control panel on your screen, and we will be able to address those questions as they come about. Thank you. Okay, so there's one inquiry. Our college is part of the California Guided Pathways project, similar to AACC, and is in transition with our strategic plans. May we submit our CAGP institutional assessment, which includes our past accomplishments and upcoming work? The answer is yes. You may submit that, upload that to the online form in place of your strategic plan. Then the next question by Courtney, what if we don't use the ICAT this year or last year? Then that's fine, still fill out the form. You could probably just write in the text box kind of what your intentions are when you do intend to take the ICAT. just give us a status on where you are with it. Instead of just leaving it blank, just give a brief summary of what you guys' plans are for the ICAP. From Karen, how do we address the ICAP section if we administer the survey in 2017-2018?
That's a good question. This is Benita Brown, Vice President for Network Engagement. Even though you might have taken the ICAT a while back, we still hope that you're working through those capacities in some level. So if you review the ICAT and what those capacities are, I think you should be able to lift out where you're still doing work in some of those areas. So you may not be working actively on, say, equity this year, but I'm sure somewhere there's a thread in some of the work where you are doing some work that touches some of the 7 capacities. So if you could just review that and kind of talk to us through, even if it's 1 or 2 of the capacities, on how you are doing some work on your campus in those areas.
Great. Thank you, Benita. Misha Turner asked, would these PowerPoint presentation slides be sent to us electronically for sharing with others who were unable to participate in today's webinar? Thanks for that question, Misha. We will be uploading the YouTube video that will walk through with the audio, the visuals of today's webinar, but we will also post the PowerPoint to our website as well. So you will have the hard copy as well as be able to walk through the webinar via YouTube video link that we'll have posted. And Kathy Adar, we have been updating our strategic plan based on items accomplished. Do you want the original plan or the plan with updates and completed items?
I like the one with the updates and completed items. That way we can see kind of where you're going and where you're heading in your work. So yeah, update the one that you're working on. That way we can kind of correlate that with the direction your college is going.
And I'll just preference, if you have it done by June 21st is all the better. But I think in echoing Benita, whatever revisions you have up until that point, please do submit it and don't let that hinder you from submitting any updates that you've made to a previous version. Thank you. Okay, just one other area. And again, if there's other questions, please go ahead and submit it in the Q&A text box. Deb, you kind of asked a similar question around the ICAT. If you haven't done one recently, let me know if Benita's response answered you or if you need more information on that. Or that may have been your question that we identified. Let's see, Robin asks, our colleges in the cohort A of the Oregon Guided Pathways Project, may we submit the scale of adoption self-assessment report? And the answer is yes. Okay. Raise your hand if you're still typing and want us to address any questions. Or we'll definitely stay on for another 2 minutes if no other questions are coming immediately. These are good questions, so continue to raise them. Okay, thanks, Courtney, for your submission. And the question is there an inventory of other colleges' student success priorities?
No, not at the moment.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons why we gave examples in both the worksheet and online of some work that we've done with a recent cohort. So you can kind of take each of those examples from the previous year goals and what a new goal for the next current year may look like. Let's see, Carmen asked if we have a link to our strategic plan on our website, may we supply the list, add the list to the link. Unfortunately, it's by document. So the only thing I could suggest is if you copy the text from your website and put it in a Word document or PDF it and then upload it, then that's where we'll be able to capture it that way. Thanks for asking. So Courtney, is this a follow-up if there's an inventory or if there's past strategic goals? We could create it as we start collecting it. We've never collected in this format before. So definitely as we collect them for this year, we will have them in a repository that we can share depending on the length of the information that we gather. And that's one of the reasons why we're looking to provide the network kind of with that common themes that will outline some of the strategic goals that you guys have provided. So that'll definitely be the start of how we could, have that information available for colleges network-wide. Okay, we'll allow one more minute to see if any other questions come through. We appreciate you guys' engagement. Okay, well, seeing that there's no further questions from you guys at this juncture, we know that some will arise as you go through the process. I just want to reiterate, we provided the worksheet for you to get together your teams to fill out this year's annual reflection report. Use that as the starting base that you could do over the next couple of weeks. By the end of this month, if you don't receive your institution's individualized link, contact us there at our website that's posted, network@achievingthedream.org email, and we'll check on the status of your link for you. And then once you get that link, once you have finished your drafting of your responses, as Destiny mentioned, you could copy and paste those responses into the online form and make sure you upload your plans accordingly. And then hit that submit button at the very end of the worksheet online form once you get to that last page. And if you have any other further questions, let us know. And we thank you and we hope that you enjoy the rest of your day. Take care.